Personalizing marketing with AI is one of the hot topics, one of the biggest opportunities, clearly from the research that we have in marketing and communications today. Personalized experiences lead to greater loyalty. According to some research from the Journal of Marketing, found that AI enhanced personalization can increase customer loyalty by 20%. That's huge. Actually, if you think about how that will play out commercially for your organization or your brand, both in the short term, but also in the longer term. AI can also reduce customer churn. Harvard's Business Review research showed that predictive personalization reduces churn by 15%. So that is losing less customers, which gives you an opportunity then to monetize and leverage that retention of your customer base. And that 15% is quite significant, and that will play out across all different sectors. AI and personalization is a really, really hot topic. You can see this, and it will increase engagement. For me, this is one of the big ones. McKinsey's recent survey found that companies using AI for personalization will see a 10% uplift in customer engagement. And of course, let's face it, that is ultimately what we want to do, building that relationship, enhancing our conversations with our customers. If we can increase engagement and see a 10% uplift by using personalization through AI, then it's opening up opportunities that hitherto were really not available to us as marketers, business owners, entrepreneurs, startups, or established businesses. This really does apply to everybody and everyone. So let's begin really from the beginning here. I mean, we need to kind of figure out really what we're talking about here by saying AI-driven personalization. AI basically will allow you as a marketer to leverage vast data sets. I mean, data sets that really, as a human being, you're not going to be able to analyze or evaluate at the same kind of level as an AI could. And this will allow you to do everything from real-time personalization to forecasting. And you're going to be able to do this across channels. You're going to be able to do this deeper or wider, more broad, and more forensically in lots of ways to improve both customer engagement and conversion rates. Epsilon came up with some evidence really from some research that they had done to say that 80% of customers are more likely to purchase from brands offering personalized experiences. So if you can be using your AI strategy and your AI tactics and the platforms and tools that you have at your disposal to do this, personalizing the experience, then we're just seeing already from a whole host of different providers, commercial organizations, researchers, and consultancies that this can have a profound impact. And of course, if you think about this, not only on your own numbers, your own performance, but also how then competitively you're playing out against the rest of the marketplace. So you can start to outperform if you can get your head around this. So how does AI enhance personalization? Because we know how to personalize, we're marketers. It's kind of really inherent in everything that we do to try and make the experience or the product or the service personalized. So how does AI kind of add an extra level of quality to that? Well, we can get some data-driven insights and predictions. So not just looking at what we've done before, but going really deep into the nuances of the data. So the insights allowing us to evaluate really accurately, which will then allow us to hyper-target our marketing messages based on individual preferences from our audiences. One persona might want it in one way, another persona might want the message in another way, and it allows us to hyper-target, not just personalize, but hyper-target, even down to an individual at different stages that they might be in our customer journey. If we can then add to that real-time response to our customers' actions and behaviors, we can really appear in a really nuanced way, almost to be there holding their hand, almost there having the conversation, almost there being part of that relationship and that conversation at any time that they happen to be engaging with us. So ultimately, AI can dynamically allow us to tailor our content, pushing product recommendations at the right time, positioning our messages to meet the needs of individual customers. That is where we can now take this. I'm old enough to know marketing back when just the word personalization was this wonderful kind of almost vision that we had of our markets. But now it is actually achievable with the power of AI. It'll also enable us to go deeper into the machine learning algorithms for personalization. I mean, machine learning itself will enable systems to learn from the data, evaluate and identify patterns, and then help us to make decisions, but with minimal intervention of ourselves. So the human intervention, which often does cloud things, it often does have inherent bias to it, we can actually allow machine learning algorithms to be doing this stuff for us. The techniques will be things like collaborative filtering. We see this commonly used in recommendation engines, the likes of Amazon and Netflix, for example. We're going to be able to cluster, so grouping customers into segments based on similar behavior. Again, remember, even in real time. We're going to be able to do predictive modeling, anticipating future customer actions based on their past behaviors. So this isn't just guesswork. This is accurately predicting what is going to happen next. And then our models will enable us to fuel our campaigns and our projects really accurately. So the practical steps you can take to kind of move this game forward, irrespective of where you are in your journey right now, is to implement collaborative filtering in product recommendations. You can use clustering for things like targeted email marketing, and you can apply predictive models to personalize the offers for your highest conversion users or customers. This is getting really, really exciting. Practical things that we can do with these algorithms right now to start to move things forward. And let's face it, we've seen similar things like this building over recent years. I mean, a really obvious and really well-known case study is Amazon's recommendation engine, which uses both content-based filtering and collaborative filtering to put recommendations in front of customers based on their behaviors and based on people like them or similar customers to them. Really, really interesting. And they will say, and the research shows out here, that 35% of Amazon sales come from personalized recommendations. That's a third of the Amazon sales come from this approach and this behavior. And let's kind of admit that they're not doing badly, are they? So there's an opportunity for us all to learn from this. So we can understand and how to position our products and services in a similarly kind of positioned way to the way that Amazon would do it. And of course, yes, our brands, our products, our businesses are very different to Amazon, but the process of things like collaborative filtering, of content-based filtering, we can apply to our brands, our services, and our marketing too. We're also seeing NLP, natural language processing, playing out in marketing. NLP is a field of AI that helps machines understand, interpret, and respond to human language. So we're seeing that now playing out in this personalization piece. The applications that we're going to see in marketing will be sentiment analysis. Now, I've talked about this for quite a number of years now, this whole kind of feeling behind people's behaviors, the feeling behind reviews or social media and the feedback or the conversation threads that we see in socials. Sentiment analysis using NLP allows us to gauge actually what customers are truly, really feeling. So the kind of the detail behind the words, those little spaces or the little punctuations that can change everything, NLP can find that for us. We're seeing another application as well in chatbots and virtual assistants, where personalized customer interactions are happening in real time. If you're not already exploring with VAs or chatbots, now is the time to do it. A lot of these platforms are allowing freemium or free trial services that allow you to maybe test in a very kind of, sort of ring-fenced way with maybe friendly customers or maybe just your colleagues or your staff. It allows you to test these things out and feel the experience. It is getting more and more targeted and more accurate. And of course, content generation. Many of us have grown up in AI using content generation, so AI-driven tools, but now creating personalized copy for emails, for ads, for web pages, for landing pages in campaigns, etc. So don't just think about creating a one-size-fits-all piece with your next piece of AI-driven content. Think about how now you can create, different versions so that you can test those versions against different audiences. So the practical steps here: deploy some AI chatbots for personalized support and engagement. Start to use things like MyGPT, for example, to play around with how you create those chatbots or those interactions. And implement some sentiment analysis to refine your customer communication so that you're really talking, genuinely talking in the customer's language. You're not making it up, you're not playing, you're actually doing stuff that's hugely valuable for them. Another case study that we can talk about here, and again, we're all seeing this. I mean, if you use Spotify, you'll know and you'll have seen personalized playlists. Spotify's using this NLP approach to analyze song lyrics and customer preferences, creating personalized playlists like Discover Weekly. Over 40% of Spotify's streams come from these AI-powered recommendations. Incredible power now. AI-driven, AI-powered personalization. So the key takeaway really from that and this example by Spotify is that by personalizing content based on customer behavior and preferences, you will find it will lead to deeper engagement and retention. Because, of course, you're going to be exploring new products and services within something like Spotify. But think how maybe by going this approach, you can actually personalize the initial interaction with your customers, really personalize it to an individual level based on the behaviors and the sentiments that you're seeing, and then offer up the opportunity to cross-sell, upsell, maybe even back-sell things that they've missed in their past engagement with you that may now become really relevant to them. It is time to get creative. Personalizing marketing with AI is a creative but also scientific approach to getting the best out of AI. So what are some of the tools that you can start to experiment with if you like the sound of this? And let's face it, if you are being challenged with differentiating your offer, if you're being challenged with, well, our market's a little bit flat, or if you're challenged with hitting and supporting sales numbers for your organization, then you need to get in and playing with this stuff. So 3 tools you can have a little play with here for personalized marketing. One is dynamic yield. This enables real-time personalization across web, mobile, and email. You can use this to personalize website experiences down to the level of an individual user or visitor. Pasado is a good one. It uses AI to generate personalized marketing messages that in theory will drive higher engagement. So when we're talking about engagement there, this is using it to enhance the emotional appeal of marketing messages. I think a lot of us have fallen into the trap of the practicality or the thinking part of appeasing or appealing to people's and our customers' brains. But let's get back into also balancing that with the feeling part, the emotional appeal of your marketing messages. So playing to heart and mind at the same time. This is where true engagement comes from. And of course, one of the big favorites, HubSpot. So you can integrate AI-powered segmentation and content recommendations into CRM for tailored marketing automation. And of course, there's the word automation. When you think about personalization, it does open up that question mark of, the more I personalize, the bigger and more unwieldy this thing is going to become, but it doesn't have to. HubSpot allows you to use it to tailor marketing automation. So you can go deep and wide, go at scale, but also then automate at the same time. So for a lot of us, this is a kind of almost a new mindset. It isn't about the old school way it still works. We're taking some of the best principles and some of the best strategic ideas from old school marketing, but we're refreshing them in this new AI-powered world. Coca-Cola's AI-driven personalization, again, is a great opportunity to explore another example of how this stuff plays out. And they're using AI to personalize marketing messages across a range of digital platforms. The impact that they've seen is a 4% increase in conversion rates and improved customer loyalty through simply, and I use that word guidedly, simply tailoring ads and product recommendations on a personalized basis. So the key takeaway that we can see if we're going to work on this ourselves and try and integrate this into our work is that AI-powered personalization will improve conversion rates, but it will also strengthen the customer relationships by offering a perceived tailored experience. Now, of course, a lot of us have been doing customer journey for a long time. So we'll kind of be thinking along these ways of that step-by-step process of engagement, of communication, of follow-up, of hooking people in, of inspiring engagement further and deeper into the relationship to build that customer lifetime value. But now by tailoring it, we can supercharge it. Can you imagine being Coca-Cola and seeing a 4% increase in conversion rates? At the scale that Coca-Cola operate at, that is a huge commercial value, and simply by AI-driven personalization. There are, though, things that we also need to do to consider this ethically. This isn't all about just, wow, I can get down to a level of personalization of my marketing of one-to-one, truly one-to-one, and then go real time and anything goes. That is, it's absolutely not the case. So we still have to be very transparent in our data usage. That is crucial. Our privacy and data security policies and guidelines need to be in place. We need to be following best practice. So make sure you're ticking that one off on your checklist as you start to begin to consider rolling this out to the real world. We also need to consider bias in the algorithms. We need to ensure that our AI tools are both fair, but also inclusive. So putting in, as we go in and start to personalize this based on preferences, based on past performance, based on behaviors, we must ensure that bias is built into this in a fair and inclusive way. It's inherent. We know. We've looked into this so many times now, haven't we? We know that this is a challenge within the AI algorithms and tools and platforms, but we do need to endeavor and show best endeavors that we are actually trying to solve this. And one of the simple things as well is also customer consent. Personalization, if you are going to do this, it should then respect your customers' privacy and opt-ins. Those things don't go out the window just because you happen to be doing things automated or using AI. All of that best practice, all of those things that keep your brand wholesome and correct, those things need to be applied here as well. So implement very clear data privacy policies and regularly audit your AI algorithms for fairness and inclusivity. You need to be part of this experience too. So not just plotting it, testing it once, go in regularly and check, go in and do these kind of audits just to make sure that you are still very much on brand and doing the things from, a very wholesome perspective. And then if you can get all of that stuff right, it is then going to be about measuring the impact of this AI-driven personalization. You're going to want to see some impact here. You want to get this return that's being promised here. So what kind of things are you going to be looking for? Well, a lot of the key metrics that we've been talking about here are things like conversion rates. So you can track changes in sales and also signups post-personalization. And how are those things different to how you used to do it? I mentioned CLV, customer lifetime value. Measure how personalization will impact on your long-term customer value. If you're not already measuring that, that is a key performance indicator for most brands, B2B and B2C. Know how much value you're getting from different customer segments, different customer personas. Then start personalizing and see how that improves. And another metric would be things like engagement, true engagement, not vanity metrics, true engagement. Track open rates, click-through rates, and dwell time on your personalized content and see how that compares with the way that you used to do it. Tools that you're going to be able to use for that: HubSpot, Google Analytics, Dynamic Yield, et cetera, et cetera. You'll already have a lot of this stuff in place, I'm sure. But if not, then these are going to be some of the key things that will allow you to tell the story specifically back into the business of why this stuff is absolutely vital going forward. And without wishing to put too much of an urgency or a pressure onto you for this stuff is really important, because if you don't start doing this, your competitors will be waking up very, very soon and taking some advantage here. So get on board soon, fast, and start testing. So the key takeaways here that you can start to begin this journey with AI personalization for your marketing, is to think about machine learning and NLP and how that's elevating your marketing personalization to improve customer loyalty and engagement. Those to me are the big two checkpoints here. It's about building loyalty through personalization and enhancing from that loyalty the engagement that you get. So your KPIs need to be in there. Your focus and attention and the scalability of what you do needs to be onto those two things, loyalty and engagement. But do start small and scale fast. Begin with AI-driven recommendation systems or those chatbots, those virtual assistants, the VAs, and then expand to predictive personalization. So do the stuff you can manage and handle now, and then start to do some of that behavioral, even in real time, forecasting, so that you can then start to expand out to predictive personalization, where you're being super responsive, almost in real time, at scale into the future. So start small, scale fast. The beauty of AI, of course, is you can scale whenever you're ready. That's a great one. But ethics matter. So ensure that transparency and fairness comes across in all of your AI personalization efforts. This might also be a time when it's a great little sense check on actually how good are we on those things? How much improvement do we need to do? Should it be now a time to re-look back at our brand guidelines and our ethical principles and policies, our privacy policies, and those security kind of settings that we committed to many years ago in some cases? How do those play out now? Probably time to re-look at those. And of course, track your results. Set your baselines now. Where are you before you start? Because then you've got your ground zero that you can then build upon. So use your key performance metrics, your KPIs, to refine and optimize your personalization strategies. This is going to get fun. This is going to get complex. This is going to get exciting. So make sure you're tracking all the way. Don't go too fast. Don't go too deep. Don't go too heavy all at one go. But if you're tracking the stuff, if you're measuring and refining step by step by step, remember the concept of incremental gains. Little 1% improvements here or there can have a profound effect on the long-term future of your organization using AI for personalization. And if you want to go deeper, we've really kind of just scratched the surface here of this topic and got you started, hopefully, on this wonderful journey ahead. But there are some further reading and resources that I can recommend. There are a couple of really good books, one called Artificial Intelligence in Marketing by Jim Stern, and there's a book called The AI Marketing Canvas by Venkateswaran and Lechinsky. That's one really worth having a look at as well. And again, these go deeper into the concept of personalizing marketing with AI. If a book isn't your thing and you just want to refer to some reports, then McKinsey's report on AI in personalization and HBR Harvard Business Review's study on AI and customer loyalty are well worth a look as well. And for me, those would be great resources, all four of those resources that will hopefully help you tell your story about the value that this is going to bring into your organization, because you're probably going to have to get resource and time and support and collaboration to make this thing happen across your organization. So get some evidence behind you, get the research, use the statistics that we've got here, because this stuff actually works right here, right now. And so I'm going to wish you all the best on your journey for personalizing marketing with AI. And let's hope we can get some successes going forward into the future.